Good evening and welcome to the Concho Sports Insider. I'm Marlon Ponder. He's Rob Ray. And we're here to talk about all kinds of things tonight. We've got UIL updates. We've got softball updates. We've got baseball updates. We're going to have some fun talking about some mascots. So I'll let you jump in with, but wait, I've started doing this thing. The coolest thing I saw all week was the graduations. So congratulations to, I believe there were 690 something Central graduates and 270 something Lakeview graduates, 71 TLCA graduates, 15 Robert Lee graduates. Not sure how many Wall. I couldn't get their numbers. And there's several others that we saw. But congratulations to all those graduates, mom and dads, all of that good stuff. I know it's been a long haul, 12 years, 13 years maybe, and it's not over for you. So congratulations on all that. And you actually had the best, I think, time doing yours.
It's the best thing that I get to do all year. Getting to announce the names, and then this year I also got to introduce both our guest speaker, who was a personal friend, and then also the salutatorian who kind of stole the show at the end of the evening with his speech. So that was a lot of fun.
Well, and the funny thing was to see go back and Concho Sports and my Eagle TV crew did it together, and we co-opted it. And it was funny to go back and watch the video of him whenever you're reading all of the things that he said, because he did an advice segment for my Eagle TV. And it was daily announcements, and then once a week he did an advice segment. And to see the facial expressions whenever you read some of his comments that he made to the questions, like what was one of them? Did you really just ask that?
Yes.
And the best one though was, if your man's cheating on you, you don't need a man. You just need to get you a puffer fish. Was that it?
Yeah. That was the basic gist of it, yeah.
That was it. So it was great. It was funny, and we had a lot of fun doing it. And I could tell you had a good time doing it, even though I was up in the booth watching.
Right before that was the rose ceremony where the seniors the graduating seniors go and hand a couple of roses to the members of their family that were the most important to them that were at the ceremony. And I walked right up to our principal and chief of staff for the district, and I said, "This is going to be the best part of the evening. Just wait." They had no idea. She hadn't seen my introduction or anything, and I was glad I got to say some of the stuff I did. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. So, well, let's jump into baseball. What do you got for us?
Well, I tell you what, I was gone last week as we were getting ready for graduation, and I missed being able to talk about Wall making it to the state semifinals, and that game was today. They ended up beating Boyd, the Yellow Jackets, 6-1. And so things are looking good for them. I was looking at this game leading up to today, and I'm going, this is going to be a tough one.
Right.
You look at how they match up. Wall, they're pitching with Gage right now has been amazing all year, and they've given up 130 runs total.
Wow.
The entire season. You go, that's good. Boyd, up until this game, 53.
Wow.
They were 34-5 on the season, and they had given up a total of 53 runs for the entire year. And Wall ended up winning 6-1. So congrats to them. Just a couple of your star of the game offensively for Wall was Caleb Braden. Went 2 for 2, had a double, a triple, 3 RBI, and a run scored. Just a great job. Lawson Dankworth, who plays first base, went 2 for 3. He had 2 RBI. Gunnar Dillard, 2 for 3. Hagen Barbie, 1 for 4, had a stolen base. And then, Gage right now had a great game pitching. Not the typical numbers that we would see from him as far as strikeouts go,
right,
but 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 strikeouts. Great job. And honestly, the thing that got Wall was something that we've talked about a lot with them. If they have a kink in the armor, it's defense. Every once in a while, their defense will let them down. They had 3 errors on the game, and that's how Boyd actually scored the top of the first inning, and it wasn't an earned run. It was because of errors.
Because of errors.
And the fact that they were able to overcome 3 errors and win 6-1, I'm really liking the odds right now of here.
And I think in the group, we have a group chat going, and I think in the group chat I even said they're going to be state champs.
Yep.
I think they are. I think they have that. They're going to have to start calling Wall Champ City now because, they've won. What have they not won state in just about?
Yeah.
But good job. And so now they square off against Boyd another 2 more times or 1 more time if they win.
I believe I think it's a 2 out of 3 situation.
2 out of 3?
So they play. Today was in Abilene. I think they're in Stephenville, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think
tomorrow
that's what Shay said.
and Saturday. So and they'll play the winner of Thrall and Orange Grove. And Thrall actually won their first game against Orange Grove yesterday.
Okay.
So we're still waiting on an update from that series. But, congratulations to Wall, and it is a team. They really are truly a team. And if you need any round and win a second game to win the series. And so Reed Ballard, 6 innings pitched to win the series. And so Reed Ballard, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 11 strikeouts. Like it's amazing. They pick each other up so well and complement each other. And when you think, oh my gosh, who's going to be the next one? To step up? Boom.
One of them has a stumble. Everybody picks him back up.
Yep.
You've seen it all year. You've seen it in football. You've seen it in basketball. You've seen it in baseball. And it's good to see those kids doing that. And great job for those coaches out there at Wall. And we know. And I understand that you have a pretty good relationship with the head coach now, so y'all are.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get a little bit of time to actually just talk and see what he has to say about this series, and if they end up winning this series out and end up going to the championship, seeing how he's feeling about that. Because I think we called this for a little while. I mean, they in talking to other coaches in the district. They thought offensively this is a better team than the one that went to the championship game a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And they're showing it now. And if they can overcome those errors and get the kind of pitching performance that they get out of their number 2 and out of their number 3, they are going to be in great shape. So.
And how awesome is it to have a 3-man rotation?
Yep.
That's almost unheard of in high school baseball. It's great to think about, and it's great to see. And a lot of other things going on in baseball world. But softball, let's jump over to softball.
Yeah, the Lady Bulldogs from Cahoma, I tell you what, they are taking care of business. Got a chance to see them in person a few times this year. They beat Lexington today 6-1 to win Game 1 of their series.
Yeah, and the Lexington comes in, I believe their record's 27-8. They hold a .344 batting average from 200 RBIs and 10 home runs. And on defense, they have a 2.07 ERA while giving up 63 earned runs and a 1.98 batting average. So they weren't a shabby team. Now, one thing about Cahoma, they were riding a big, huge unbeaten streak, and an unbeaten streak, and they lost it in the semifinals to now I lost who they lost it to, but whoever they played for the semifinal game beat them in game 2, so they had to come back and play the game 3. So they ended like a 94 game winning streak, I think is what I saw, 91 game winning streak, and they lost to Harlotsville 6-5, and so I'm sorry, no, that's wrong. They lost to SNS Consolidated. That's it. I knew that didn't sound right. SNS Consolidated. So I talk about another juggernaut team that we've seen play over the last few years and just continue to roll on. Talking about another team that's rolling on, Andrews, not necessarily in the Concho Valley, but in our area and we play them. We get to see them, especially Lakeview plays them every year. So you get to see them, and their softball team plays tomorrow at 1. They play Corpus Christi Cal Allen. So it's going to be, that's some good softball, good baseball going on right now.
Well, and it's exciting that, we're getting almost into June, and we're talking about multiple teams from this area that are still playing.
Yeah, and you don't see that. Like in football, you normally don't see that unless you talk about big country. You got Abilene and Wiley, or not Wiley, Albany and Hawley and those teams. You talk about them, but you don't necessarily hear about our teams from this area. So it's great to hear that. One other team not in the district or in the area, but Sundown, the Roughnecks, which is a great team name. They go into the game. They played today at 10 a.m. And they beat Shiner, the Lady Comanches. So the Lady Roughnecks were 34-6 on the year, and the Comanches were 30-5. So didn't see who won. Oh, I did see who won that game. Sundown won that game, but I didn't see who they're going to play. So next, going to have a lot of time on that. Great to see. I love this time of year. I love this time of year almost as much as I love football. But great things going on. Great job out there, kids. Appreciate y'all joining us. Let's take a quick break, and we will come back. We'll get Darren up here, and we will talk about some mascots. So you're watching the Concho Sports Insider on Pixelcast Media, on Concho Sports Network, presented by Pixelcast Media.
Check out why First Community Federal Credit Union is the #1 local auto lender in the Concho Valley.
With great low rates on new, used, and refinance autos, we can save you money. First Community has great payment options and low prices for GAP, extended warranty, and credit life insurance, so we can make your payment fit your budget. So be smart, bank smart, and contact First Community for your auto financing needs.
Pain is never planned, and recovery time is never convenient. But the last thing you want to do is wait for answers. At Angelo MRI, you are more than a number. We can get you results within 24 hours at a price you can afford. So when you need to get back into the game fast, tell your doctor you want to go to Angelo MRI. We hope you don't need us this season. But in case you do, remember, it's your health, your choice, your MRI.
At Schertz Landscape, we care about the quality of trees that you put in your landscape. Therefore, we grow our trees here locally in the Concho Valley. As a certified arborist, I not only care about the quality of your tree being planted, but I am also qualified as a tree risk assessor. I can evaluate the health of an older tree or the risk that it may have to you and your property. Come see us at Schertz Landscape, where we care about the quality of your trees.
Damon Bell Photography and Drone Services for all your photo and video needs. Call 325-245-9663. Oh, and we also do sports. Call today.
Check out why First Community Federal Credit Union is the #1 local auto lender in the Concho Valley.
With great low rates on new, used, and refinance autos, we can save you money. First Community has great payment options and low prices for GAP, extended warranty, and credit life insurance, so we can make your payment fit your budget. So be smart, bank smart, and contact First Community for your auto financing needs.
Pain is never planned, and
Welcome back to the Concho Sports Insider. I'm Arlen Ponder. He's Rob Ray. He's Darren Prater. We're going to talk about some things that we always laugh about whenever Darren and I do football together, and talk about mascots. And going to pick Darren and I have our top 5 favorites. Of course, I had a graphic, and I don't think I got it shared, but my favorite all-time high school football mascot has to be the Yuma Criminals, because they are actually, and we actually know a Yuma criminal, Sean Murtaugh. He's a Yuma criminal, and the way they got their name was it was it was their high school burned or got something destroyed in some way, and they had to go across the street to a prison that was condemned, and they moved them into the prison, and that became they started, all the kids started calling them the criminals, so it stuck.
What, they didn't want convict?
So no, they didn't want the convicts.
Actually, offender is the correct word, sir.
Offender?
It's an
Okay.
offender.
All right. So let's talk some mascots.
Or unjustly accused.
Exactly.
Unjustly accused. There
Persecuted.
You go. Persecuted. So, but before we talk mascots, let's talk about, there are 5 schools that I found in the state of Texas that have 2 mascots.
2 mascots.
2 mascots. So the boys have 1 mascot, the girls have another. Comfort, they're the Bobcats, and the girls, the ladies, are the deer. And it goes back to like 1929, where the ladies were playing basketball, and they didn't like that the boys didn't help them raise money for their fundraisers. So the next year they came out and became the deer. That's what the legend says. But so the Bobcats and the deer. Now some of that is, some of the cheers that they say against them are pick a mascot, you don't have a mascot, things like that. So that's some of the cheers that I've heard against them.
Why not the deer cats?
The deer cats.
You combined a bear and a cat and a wampus and a cat.
Well, and you've got the blue cats. So, you know,
Yeah.
What do you got? Okay, Floresville, they're the Tigers and the Jaguars. Del Rio, down the road from us. Queens and the Rams. Those are, I like those. Here's one, Divine. They're the Arabians and the War Horses. Those are the 2 mascots. And Uvalde, wasn't aware of this. They normally go by the Coyotes, if you see anything, but they're the Coyotes. But they're also, the ladies are the Lobos.
Okay.
So those are 5, and there's probably others. You know, there's teams all over the place. Well,
Chiefs and Maidens.
Chiefs and Maidens. That's another one, but they're kind of in the
Usually
same.
they're in the same tribe.
Same category.
Usually,
you know, pretty
unless
much.
they were captured from a different tribe.
There you
and
go.
the Graham Steers and the Lady Blues.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about Graham. Yep. And so the most popular ones, the number one. What do you think the number one is?
Eagles.
I'm gonna.
The Eagles.
You think Eagles?
That's
I
right.
think they're.
That's
Yeah.
the
I would have
Eagles.
said Lions.
Every town's got an
Every
Eagles.
town's
Yeah.
got the Eagles. We're the Eagles at TLCA. So
When you just didn't want to put much effort into the.
No.
So the Eagles, number 1, 154 teams, and this was as of 2023. Bulldogs, 102.
Okay.
Look at how many Bulldogs we have around here. We got Miles and
Midland.
and Tigers.
Wiley. Oh,
How
Tigers.
How many Tigers? Oh yeah, Wiley Bulldogs. How many Tigers we got around here?
Speaking of Bulldogs, though, I think I actually got it wrong. If I remember correctly, Kahoma is the Bulldogettes.
Bulldogettes. That's
So
correct.
And
you have the Lady Bulldogs, but then you also have Bulldogettes.
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
are French. Excuse me. These are English bulldogs.
These are English Bulldogs.
It'd be cuter if they were Frenchies, but
well.
not quite as intimidating.
So you said Lions. Number 4 are the Lions. My pride there.
Brownwood Line and Dublin Line.
That's it. 75 teams. The Panthers, 71 teams. Wildcats, 62. Mustangs, 61. Warriors, 51. Cougars, 46. And we will see some Cougars this year.
Oh,
We get to see the
Cooper Cougars
Cooper
again.
Cougars.
After Central ruined their homecoming last season.
Yep. So they'll be looking to ruin our whatever. And the Indians have 37. So going to look at some unique ones. Darren, you came up with some unique ones before I give my list. So go ahead. What do you got?
Okay, Texas high school football, I'll give them some credit for putting together the list. It is really, really good. And some of these I hadn't even heard of. The Robstown Cotton Pickers.
I've heard of the Cotton Pickers.
That sounds like a child labor law infringement waiting to happen. And, I mean, you pick cotton all day. It's hard to play sports. I mean, your hands are
Yeah,
worn.
you're bloody. And you ever picked cotton before? Yeah.
Briefly.
Briefly? Yep.
Not fun. The Crystal City Javelinas, which is a great Texas one.
Right.
You know. So
Yep.
the Javelinas, wild boars.
The Wild Boars. Okay.
I mean, that's kind of goes along with that. The
That's what my
Grandview
kids call
Zebras.
me.
The wild boar.
the Wild Boar. Yeah.
The Grandview Zebras.
You know what? Love the Grandview Zebras, and actually, I had a graphic. Their helmet is really cool looking. It's white with black stripes.
Oh, nice.
And it looks pretty cool. You can imagine seeing them.
And the thing is, their
okay.
stripes are never the same. That's why in a group, zebras are good because it's confusing and you start seeing patterns. But a zebra by himself it's not good.
Well, we saw that.
They're going to die.
If you've seen Madagascar, you saw that that's not good. So, you know.
Yeah. It's, in a group, see, as a team, they are strong.
Yeah.
And they've had some dang good football teams as of last several years. These zebras. The Amarillo Golden Sandies.
I went there for 2 years.
So, yeah. See?
Yeah. They can get in your eyes, sting your face.
Hey, if you've ever tried to play baseball in Amarillo in August.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
With the way the wind blows up there, Golden Sandstorm is a very apt name.
Now, does the wind ever not blow in Amarillo?
Well, not really, but it's more about the direction that it blows from.
Gotcha. Now, wait, Amarillo, is it Amarillo that has the Dons?
Paladuro, yep.
Paladuro Dons, yeah. So there's
some good ones.
There's some good ones.
The Dons, the Sandies, and the
Matadores?
Yeah.
Isn't there a Matador?
That's the Matadors are
El Paso. That's El Paso.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Matadores and Matadors.
Yep.
The Catholic Conquistadores.
Conquistadors, yeah.
That's better. That sounds, yes, Conquistadores.
Whenever I was a kid, I made a whole, Texas football league I could program and programmed a computer game and had the Conquistadors were the team from Albuquerque.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See, growing up, it was just a ride at Six Flags.
Yeah, see.
The Conquistador.
Oh, that was a great ride.
It's an awesome ride.
Yeah.
This one is interesting. Central Catholic. Not around here, not that Central High School. Central Catholic High School is the Buttons.
San Antonio.
That's San Antonio?
San Antonio.
And a button is the rattler. One of the rattles on a rattlesnake's rattle is a button?
Mm-hmm. The very last button. Yep, very last one. And if they are snakes, if you're looking at a snake, they're the most deadly because they can't control their venom.
Unfortunately, with the buttons, they warn you, so you can just get away.
Well, if they're the buttons, you can't hear them. So, they just...
Some of these rattlers are not rattling anymore, I've heard.
That's
they
what
won't
I've
warn
heard.
you.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Yeah.
That's really, really low of a rattlesnake to do that.
Now, you think about snakes. Remember whenever we played, who was that team that we played? Was it Shoemaker that we played? And
they were the Gray Wolves.
You and I always talk about the inflatables.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Vandergrift. The Vipers. That was a great inflatable.
That was a cool. Oh man, their inflatable had a viper up on top, and the eyes lit up, and smoke came out of the. It was cool. I'm
going to put this one in with that one. The Carroll Dragons inflatable, also a smoker.
Yeah.
For real.
Well, the guys coming out of it were smoking, and then because they're talk about juggernauts.
Man.
Yeah, seeing that they don't. One game they had that we called they put their first string quarterback in first quarter, put the second string in the second quarter, fourth string in the third quarter, and the fifth string in the fourth quarter,
and playing against a good team too. It was friendship that is good, and they just smoked them.
Embarrassed them. Yeah,
that is crazy.
Yep.
They've done it more than once. So the Buttons, they had that one at 15. At 14, they had the Roscoe Plowboys, which is an awesome, thoughtful mascot.
Look at that.
Plowboys.
Plowboys.
Right. They can do some hard farm work.
Uh-huh.
It's funny because it was named after kids doing farm work and then going to practice, There was...
Now, what's the female version?
I guess Plow Girls. I don't know.
No,
I don't know. They've got, or it would be Lady Plowboys.
No, I forget what they're called. They're called something different.
Oh, are they? They did not have that. And
they're called something
that's
different.
An interesting question, man.
Yeah.
The Cowgirls. Plow Girls.
Plow Girls.
But the Plowboys...
Heifers.
I read a 1983 article from my hometown about football, and it said the kids were hauling hay. They'd been dairy work all day, and then they were in shape for football after all that. That's kind of like the plowboy work ethic. You're out farming.
Yep.
You're out, that kind of thing. So, yeah, my junior high principal, Mr. Stafford, was a plowboy.
Well, And we have a good friend that is a Tarleton State plowboy.
Oh, yes.
Heath is a Tarleton State plowboy. So
No kidding?
yeah, he was a plowboy.
I didn't even know that.
Yep.
Greetings, Highlander. There can only be one, the Woodlands Highlanders. The Woodlands High Income might also be.
Yeah, no doubt there. Whew.
That's a good one, though. Like, got Sean Connery.
You would think that Highland Park would be the Highlanders.
But, man, they're the Scots,
They're
and
the
that's
Scots.
a dang good one, too.
Yeah.
I like original stuff like that. The
yeah.
Scots, tough and sturdy.
Yeah.
Belong to a clan of some sort. The Coleman Blue Cats was right outside their top 10.
Really?
And Blue Cats with a K, too, with the girls, so that's pretty cool.
Good football team this last year, and I think their baseball team was pretty good this year, too.
A player showed up in the olden days with a cat head on a blue jersey, and that's how they got the name Blue Cats.
Blue Cats.
That's exactly how it happens, and I read that on the internet, so it's got to be true.
It's got to be true.
Yep.
It says Farmersville Fighting Farmers. Isn't Louisville the Fighting Farmers too, or did they change the name of the town?
No, it's.
They're both fighting farmers.
I think
right?
they're both fighting farmers.
They won state with the wishbone back in the 90s. Those
Yeah.
Louisville Fighting Farmers.
Louisville.
And so what if the farmers are tough? They're a tough breed of people. And if they're Amish, they're handy with a pitchfork.
Well, I'm thinking that maybe they got that messed up, and maybe it is Louisville.
It might be both.
I don't remember Farmersville being
Yeah.
the fighting farmers.
The
but
Louisville definitely is.
yeah, Louisville definitely is.
The Texas City Stingarees.
Well, and Stephenville played Texas City several times, so stingaree is actually a stingray.
That looks like it swallowed a cowboy hat.
Yep, sure does.
That's what the article said. I'm like, that kind of makes sense for Texas, doesn't it? I mean, looks like it swallowed a cowboy hat. Let's get into what their top 10 is. This is a good one. The Randolph Rohawks.
What exactly is a rohawk?
It is a hawk and rocket hybrid.
Okay.
That's pretty fierce because a hawk can, like, say there's a gecko or a lizard, a hawk goes down and smothers it.
Right.
Imagine if that thing had a rocket attached to it.
And then you talk about Judson rockets.
Yeah, boy.
Yep.
Converse Judson,
Converse
man.
Judson rockets.
That's a big-time tradition there. Let's see. We've covered the Stingarees. We covered the Rohawks. How about the Cuero Gobblers? That's a perfect one, and they win a lot, too.
I love the Cuero Gobblers.
Those old Turkey Toms. That's a good program. I've never heard of this one. The Brazosport Exporters.
The only reason I know that is because whenever Katie and I play this game, whenever we go through a little town, and she goes, Talpa, home of the... And she hates it because I know most of them. Mm-hmm. And I go, well, they used to be, I think they were the Indians whenever they still had a school. And she was like, no, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for, like, the Talpa turtles, things like that. She wants me to make stuff up. And so whenever we were coming back from San Antonio one time, she was reading off a bunch of unique names to me, and that was one of the ones that she read out. So I'd never heard of them until she read it out.
The Exporters from Brazos, that's like they could date Paris Hilton, the heir of a shipping heir. What's that dude's name? Stavros?
Yeah.
My daddy left me some money. He's an exporter. We can export goods. That's good hard work, and that's merchant marines too.
Oh, true.
And that's a tough person.
When you talk about down there, that I believe Brazoria County is one of the only refuge cities that has all kinds of aquatic animals and birds and things that aren't found anyplace else in the world. Yeah. There's an animal refuge down there.
I bet they're delicious. The Mesquite Skeeters.
They didn't try very hard on that one.
No.
They can cause disease.
Yeah, true.
They can just irritate you.
They can just irritate you, yeah.
But a little bug spray, I don't know.
Yep.
This is going to be, I'll just go ahead and say, this is my favorite mascot, the Hamlin Pied Pipers.
Okay.
I mean, he can catch a rat.
That's your number one, huh?
Uh-huh. I mean, not the most fierce. I mean, he's pretty much in trouble against every other mascot.
Right.
Unless he beats him with a flute. It could be a magic flute, maybe. Yeah. This one is a make-believe good one. the New Braunfels Unicorns.
They are my honorable mention. They are my honorable mention. So
Very good.
I love them as a mascot.
You got, I think they should be the New Braunfels der Stuka. Like the Schlitterbahn, that big old slide.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, what that
Yeah.
that was at Schlitterbahn, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm so behind the times, I still call whatever Wet and Wild.
Yeah.
So the Pied Pipers in the top 5, the Unicorns as well. The Mason Punchers. We know those Mason Punchers. They win a lot in a lot of stuff.
They're number 4 on my list.
Very cool. Of course, you knew what a puncher was by the definition of a puncher. Like,
Yeah, there's their logo, and puncher is actually somebody that the cowboys, whenever they were taking the cattle in the cattle cars to auction, they would have a stick and they would punch the cattle to keep them from falling down or falling asleep, so that they wouldn't get trampled.
Cool. Number 2, I'll tell you why. Out of the top 2, these are the 2 I would think would be the scariest for a human being to encounter, the scariest for all of the others to encounter, because there are no elephants, there are no orca. That would be the 2 that could defeat every other mascot.
Okay.
Minus the dragon, which breathes fire and drops napalm breath on people. Okay, the winter's blizzards at 2.
They're my number 2 also.
Walking in a winter wonderland. And at number 1, the one that people tend to laugh
There's their
at.
logo. There's the winter's
Look at
blizzard.
that, man.
And if you look at their mascot now, or it used to look just like a big old snow cone, white snow cone. That's what it looked like. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that.
Could
one.
also be the golden sandies.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
change the color. It's not a blizzard. It's a sandstorm.
That's it.
That might make a good tag team.
Or
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Or
A mud storm, a blizzard mud storm.
La Mesa golden tornadoes.
That's nice.
Yep.
Golden Tours.
Yep. Golden tours.
And number 1, the one people laugh at. It's not funny.
No.
They'll bite you in half. A Hutto hippo. Man,
you
look
go.
at that. Thank you, Shay. That's cool. They can bite you in half. Say there's a swimming pool 100 yards from a body of water, and the hippo's in it, and the hippo climbs out. Don't get in its way. It's going to run over whatever in between it and the body of water. They're very disagreeable animals. They are just meanness.
And I believe you said that was number 1 on
On
your
the
list.
The hippos, the number 1 on my list.
Yep.
We play trivia during dinner with the 6-year-old, and one of the questions was which animal had the strongest bite, and it's out of all the animals, hippos was it. So you don't want to mess with a hippo.
No.
But I will we'll say that. Going to see Fiona the hippo from the Cincinnati Zoo. Shout out to my
There you go.
Ohio
Awesome.
peeps here in a couple of weeks. Excited. Fiona made national news a couple of years ago, so big into the hippo.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if I got to go see my daughter, and I think she may end up dragging me to the zoo. She's the zoo person and wants to go see everything, so maybe we'll go see her.
Yeah, man. Johnson City has a wildlife thing. I think they have koalas, and I'm so wanting to pet a koala. It stresses the animal out, I know, but this is about my needs, not the animal's needs.
Not the animal's needs.
He
Now,
doesn't
do you
have
know-
a job. Can't be that stressed.
Do you know how Hutto got their name?
How?
they got the hippos?
How?
There was a circus that went through, and apparently the train wrecked or something, and the hippos ended up in the water, and they couldn't catch them. So that's the way they had some wild hippos running around.
Well, yeah, they can
That's
run.
what's on the internet. So it
Must be true.
Must be true.
Absolutely.
They can run along the bottom of the water underwater
Yeah.
at a high rate of speed,
Yep.
and then surface. They are just such jerks. I mean, they're very like hyenas are jerks, but they're cowards.
Yeah,
when they're by themselves.
Yeah.
But that's a great mascot.
Yep.
Nothing funny about it.
So do you have your top 10?
I don't really know if I have a top 10. I will say the Pied Piper is my favorite
Okay.
because it's just so original.
Right.
I'm going to put the San Saba Armadillo at number 2.
That's my number 1. That is my number 1 of the Texas mascots. That's number 1 on my list.
It's protected by law. It's
Yeah.
a Texas animal, so if say a hippo stomps one, It's going to jail. They're going to put the hippo down.
Put the hippo to jail, and there's
You'll end
logo.
up playing for the criminals.
They should change, though, the logo to be what the armadillo usually look like in its natural habitat, which is laying on the side of the road.
Upside down, yeah. Yep. Roadkill there. Yep, true. One that you did not mention that I'm going to throw out there, and Shay, I think we've got the graphic for it. The Fort Worth Polly Parrots.
Oh, man, that's a good one.
The Fort Worth Polly Parrots. Now, growing up in Brownwood and Fort Worth, I got to see Polly play every once in a while, and Polytechnic Parrots. And I always thought they were green and white, and it wasn't until a couple of years ago that I went, oh, wait, they're orange and white. I'd forgotten that. So, Polly Parrots. So that's my number 5 on my list.
That's cool.
Yep.
I don't really go by my favorites. I go by ones that would be fierce if you put them head-to-head with the others.
Right.
But now the armadillo, it's protected by law, so there you go.
Well, in armadillo, it was my grandmother's alma mater, and I like it. It's a great little cute mascot.
A few more. The Brotan Yellowhammers is in my top 5.
Yeah.
I'm not going to explain. It's just a great one. I don't really know.
Well, and who is it? There's the red ants. There's the red ants.
Oh man. These should have been top 10 if they were, but they weren't listed, and
red
I didn't
ants.
hear about those. Man.
And there's another one we talked about right before we went on air. Who are they?
I've got a few more here.
Yawas?
Yeah, the Yawas of Somerville. That's a female horse. So what would the boys' team? See, that entered my
Stallions?
mind.
I don't know.
Over the air.
Yeah.
The Trent Gorillas.
Trent Gorillas, yep.
Which could probably beat 100 men. It's not for sure. But if they got tired, you would have to go 20 and kill some time.
Oh, there they are.
Then you'd have to go 20 more, kill some time, because the gorillas don't have a lot of endurance.
Look at that.
You have to hit them in waves.
Could you imagine seeing, something like that as a mascot coming at you?
Man. Just don't make eye contact with them. Sit down and turn your back to them, and then they'll score a touchdown or strike you out or
one
score
of the
a
other.
basket.
Yep.
But that is fierce, and they are so strong. They can pick up a car and toss it if they wanted to.
Sure. What else you
got? This one's going to be the most fierce one, and I'll explain why later. The Frost Polar Bears.
Oh, well, that was my number 3 on my list. There they are.
And I'm going to go with this one for 5. Just my general top 5. I like the Pied Piper. To me is just the most original. The Port Lavaca Calhoun sand crabs.
Sand crabs, yep.
We got spirit, yes we do. We could burrow in the sand and pinch off your pinky toe. How about you? Other than that, you can get away from them. But
yeah.
The Livingston Gators.
Well, and the Dickinson Gators, too.
True.
Yeah,
Actually,
Dickinson.
I meant to put Dickinson. It's Dickinson.
It's Dickinson Gators.
It's not Livingston.
Yeah, the Dickinson Gators.
That's like my top 5. The Trent Gorillas, I mentioned them. The Itasca Wampus Cats would also be in there. Forney Jackrabbits. Are there more than one jackrabbit?
Yeah, there's more than one. I think we talked about. There's Forney, and then there's another. Or Grayford? Are they the Grayford?
Man, you got me on that one.
Grayford Jackrabbits, I think. Yeah, they played Benjamin a couple of years ago, and I think they're the Grayford Jackrabbits.
The Hubbard Jaggers.
Hubbard. Well,
interesting pronunciation. I don't know.
The mix?
But that's like generally my top 6, 7, 8. It's just on originality alone.
Gotcha.
So that's what I've got just on that.
Well, and then Rob's got some great ones. What'd you come up with?
I knew that you guys had Texas covered. I went to Emerald High for a couple of years, but I moved all over the place growing up. Ohio has some really unique names. The Crookville Ceramics.
Okay.
Wow.
The East Liverpool Potters.
Is that a soccer team or
the Fairport Skippers?
Nice.
Skippers. Okay.
Those
are like sailors? Skippers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And this one is very interesting. It's the Unodo Sherman Tanks.
Oh,
that's
I like
a good
that.
one.
Yes,
They're
right outside of Chillicothe, Ohio. So that would be southeastern Ohio. They changed their mascot to the Sherman Tank when an Army, I believe, colonel ended up in the heading the school district.
Okay.
lived in West Virginia for a number of years. Musselman, are you familiar with Musselman applesauce?
Okay.
Where the original orchard was. They have a high school there, the Musselman. They're called the Applemen.
Appleman.
Nice.
But hands down, though, in West Virginia, the Dots
The Dots.
from Polka.
That's great.
The Polka Dots.
as you said
That's
about mesquite.
P-O-C-A. Polka
Polka
Dots. You gotta. It's great. I just enjoyed that.
As you said about mesquite, not much originality there.
No, but it just made me shake my head every time I drove. That's between Huntington and Charleston. On I-64 there. So
Is that like one of the best newspapers ever? Is the Deming, New Mexico? Their newspaper is called The Headlight.
nice.
The Deming
Yes.
Headlight. Yep, it's the Headlight.
But
Better than the Gaslight.
you want to talk about odd stories. My favorite is from Maryland, the Key High School Obazags.
Obazags. Okay.
They were back in the 1800s, I believe, when they bought the property and were about ready to build the school. They were getting pressured by the community to come up with a name, a mascot, and they happened to have a bunch of gazebos on the property.
Okay.
That's gazebo spelled backwards.
Is that like Subaru?
Obazags, yeah.
You're a bus?
Yeah. So,
Yep.
what is that called? An anagram, I believe?
Yes,
where,
anagram.
Where it's
Yep.
backwards.
Yes, I was trying to think of that.
Bryn Mawr, odd spelling of both words in the name of the town, B-R-Y-N and M-A-W-R.
Okay.
They are the Martians, but because they are spelled M-A-W-R, Bryn Mawr, they are the Martians, M-A-W-R-T-I-A-N-S.
Okay.
You're in Maryland, you have the Crisfield Crabbers.
Of course. If you best place in the world to get crab.
Absolutely, blue crab.
Oh yeah, blue
Very
crab.
tasty.
Mhm.
And then the Allegheny Campers.
Well, that makes sense. Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
So,
The bear is going to get those campers.
yeah.
I did see. Let's see. I don't know if Shay would that graphic work with the state ones, the other state ones that we had. There was I think I pulled it down. I don't know if it would work, but one of them I saw was the wooden shoes. There's
Like Dutch?
There's a town in Wisconsin, I think. They're the wooden shoes, and they were named that because they were Dutch. There was a big Dutch population there, and one of the guys, there was a famous guy that made wooden shoes, and so they changed and called it the wooden shoes. So there's the wooden shoes. Another one that I saw whenever I was doing some university, looking at some of those, gooey ducks. The gooey ducks, and they're in Oregon, and I forget what university it is, but apparently a gooey duck is like a crab or something that burrows under the ground, and they
Pinch your pinky toe
go
off.
off and pinch your pinky toe off. Yep. But we had fun with this, and if you've got some, send them into my email, arlen@pixelcast.media, and we'll definitely bring them back up if we've got them.
Nothing beats a blizzard, man.
Nothing.
The Frost Polar Bears Winter Blizzards. That's your tag team.
That's your tag team.
Only an orca is going to beat that. I mean, if the blizzard doesn't kill you, the polar bear will. Your army, your guns are going to freeze up. You're going to run out of resources, and the blizzard, then the polar. I mean, those two. I don't know who can survive. A hippo is an aquatic animal. It won't survive in a blizzard.
See, you put cookie dough in a blizzard dough, and it's delicious.
That
There
sounds
you
good.
go.
But really,
Yep.
the polar bear is the only thing that could withstand the blizzard.
Nah, true.
Facts.
True. Well, all right. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this. You're watching the Concho Sports Insider on Concho Sports Network, presented by Pixelcast Media.
Pain is never planned, and recovery time is never convenient. But the last thing you want to do is wait for answers. At Angelo MRI, you are more than a number. We can get you results within 24 hours at a price you can afford. So when you need to get back into the game fast, tell your doctor you want to go to Angelo MRI. We hope you don't need us this season. But in case you do, remember, it's your health, your choice, your MRI.
At Schertz Landscape, we care about the quality of trees that you put in your landscape. Therefore, we grow our trees here locally in the Concho Valley. As a certified arborist, I not only care about the quality of your tree being planted, but I am also qualified as a tree risk assessor. I can evaluate the health of an older tree or the risk that it may have to you and your property. Come see us at Schertz Landscape, where we care about the quality of your trees.
Damon Bell Photography and Drone Services for all your photo and video needs. Call 325-245-9663. Oh, and we also do sports. Call today.
Welcome back, Concho Sports Insider. I'm Arlen Ponder. He's Rob Ray. Now we're going to do my favorite part of the whole show is giving the local shout-outs. And we're going to miss some, and we apologize. End of year, and people post things, people send things. Moms and dads, thank you for sending some of these. We appreciate it. But, we're going to start off with TLCA UIL. Even though the school was out, Ms. Cole took one of her graduates down there, and he competed at the state level. And I don't know, Shay, if we have that photo of him. It's EJ Oviedo. He was also a scholar athlete here for 1 week. He made the second consecutive appearance at state for academic UIL in informative speaking. And if you've ever heard this kid speak, he's a good orator. He beat out 700 other students and speakers across 32 districts and 4 regions to take home one of the top 12 speakers in the state. So good job, EJ. Very proud of you. And I'm not sure, where's he going to school? Is he going to ASU?
I don't remember.
I think he told us, but I can't remember where he said he was going to go to school. But there he is. There's
Yep.
EJ. And congratulations, EJ, and good job to Ms. Cole for second year in a row. And she's got an excellent program there that we've got some great programs there at TLCA.
And that the Oviedo's great family. I taught his older sister, and then he has a younger brother that's going to be, I believe, a sophomore coming up here this year.
I think so. He's also was a Eagle
Yep.
of the Week. Yeah. Yep.
TLCA also had 3 students go and compete at state UIL for instrumental music. Stephen Wesley Hale received a Division I rating for both piano and alto saxophone, and he was also valedictorian, if he doesn't have anything else going on. No. Tanner Easterling received a Division I rating for keyboard percussion, and Kira Kodrowski earned a Division III rating for flute. So very well done for all 3 of those individuals.
Absolutely. And Kira is our drum major?
One of the drum majors.
One of the drum majors. So, yep. Also, going back into things, Lakeview Junior ROTC, and I know we've got a picture of them. So kudos to them. They presented the flag at the Lakeview graduation ceremony. There they are. I'm always proud of these ROTC kids, because I personally have seen a couple of kids that went from from Lincoln that were having some trouble, went into junior ROTC, jumped in there and took it to it like a duck to water. And I forget what the chief's name is out there that's running that program, but got a great program out there. And let's see, I was trying to see if they just presented the colors. Didn't see how many of them graduated, but I know that they've got a great little program out there. Kudos to Lakeview and their junior ROTC program.
Yeah, and those ROTC programs, I tell you what, they are stepping stone into the college ROTC programs, and they have there's some definite advantages for those kids, that get into those programs. Our guest speaker at our graduation at TLCA is now a colonel in the Air Force. She was in the ROTC program at UTSA.
Oh yeah. And I was impressed by something that you said in your opening remarks. How many people has she done their retirement ceremony?
7.
7. And sometimes I know officers that never got called to do that. And having been a part of a retirement ceremony, that's an honor to be called and to be asked to do any part of a retirement ceremony. So that was really cool. So.
Looking now at the Sonora Mustangs and the band program there, Elric got second for his multi-percussion solo. So congratulations to him as well.
And we didn't get the last name in time. They sent me El Rey, so we apologize for that, Mom and Dad. But we wanted to recognize him tonight and say congratulations. And then coming up, this was one that I had a few weeks ago, and I hung on to it because I, again, didn't have somebody's last name. Very best UIL. Cameron Barber took home 6th place at state in ready writing. And I believe that's a topic that they hand you, and you have to write on it, if I remember correctly from those days of doing that. So congratulations, Cameron. Good job. And, of course, she's wearing a debate shirt, so I immediately thought she was a debater, so I was excited about that. But good job, Cameron. And then
the Menard Yellow Jackets have bringing back some hardware for their tennis program. That Cato Banowski and Zeke Hernandez came back from Austin, getting 3rd at state.
Yeah, congratulations. I think that was doubles is what they did there. And the very last thing, we do a lot with SAISD, so I wanted to throw this out there. SAISD summer camps are coming up this summer. The camps are available for baseball, soccer, swimming, tennis, gymnastics, basketball, softball, volleyball, and football. The dates and times and locations and registration fees vary by sport, but you can check it out at saisd.org/summer camps. So there's that option. Mom and dads, if you want to get the kids out of the house and want to have them do something that might spur them into doing something else, there it is. And I know that band's got summer camps coming up, and I know that I saw 7-on-7 football is going on with Lakeview and El Dorado, and I believe some of the other schools around. So a lot of good things going on this summer. We're going to try to keep this going through the summer. We may run out of some stuff as we go through, and you may see some of us, you may see one of us, you may see none of us sometimes. But we're going to keep this going. We appreciate you joining us tonight. You got anything else before we jump off here?
Hey, good luck to Wall. Keep it going. Yeah,
keep it going, Wall. We're rooting for you. We're pulling for you. We'll be watching, and we'll give an update next week as to what they are. Maybe you can, if they pull it off, you can get Coach to come in, and
Absolutely.
you and him can talk for a little bit. But if you've got any information to send to me, it's arlen@pixelcast.media. And we will get it on here. And I don't care what it is. It can be a spelling bee winner. It can be whatever. We want to get it on there. And there it is right there. There's my email. And just shoot it over to me. We are looking for more advertising for coming up seasons. Football. So we're going to be doing Central, Lakeview, and Wall games again. We may do a couple others. You never know what we may pull out of our hat. But opportunities there for advertising. You can also reach Shea, SHEA, at pixelcast.media if you wanted that. And we're also looking for another corporate sponsor for this. So if you want to sponsor the Concho Sports Insider and tell us, hey, y'all need to be quiet more often, then we will definitely take that. You can also catch us on social media. You can like us, subscribe, whatever, at conchosports.com, or you can install on Roku and Fire TV apps by searching Concho Sports. On those devices, we also have Instagram, X, Threads. Darren still has his MySpace account up. I'm not sure what else we have. But you can find us all there. We appreciate you joining us tonight. If you liked us, go and hit that like button. We'd appreciate it. And we will see you next week. For Rob Ray, I'm Arlen Ponder. On behalf of all of us, Shay Harris, Darren Prater, all of us here at Concho Sports Network, have a good week.